And we have divided the kids coming into your classroom, teacher, into two groups. There are the kids who are incredibly bright. Those kids are so smart, you're going to have to work to keep up with them. And then there's the second group of kids, and they are so sweet, but they are also so dumb. They're going to need a lot of help learning to tie their shoes, and this is 4th grade we're talking about. Okay, so they follow those two groups of kids over the course of the school year, and of course the smart kids did well, and the dumb kids did poorly. Where's the surprise about that? As you've undoubtedly guessed, was there any real difference between those two groups of kids? No. Those teachers were lied to. But because they believed that one group of kids were smart, did they treat them a certain way? Oh, Billy, look at your handwriting. Sweetie, I'm so impressed. Michael, I'm sure you'll do better next time. That's okay, Chuck. Is the power of the label. Underlying it all is the looking glass self. We are who other people think we are. And notice this has an impact on things like we've talked about, crime. Who does most of the use of illegal drugs in this country? Middle-class white people. Who gets caught for it? Poor minorities. Once labeled like that, does that have consequence? Oh yeah. Again, simple insight, but important. Okay, yeah.
With this, can't also like segregation and like discrimination come from label theory with the self or looking glass?
That's right. That's right. This has those implications about racism, gender, inequality, all of that stuff. This simple insight, we are who other people think we are. If you as a group have been labeled, well, we just know that those kind of people don't learn well. But Asians, oh, we know about Asians. They're really smart. They'll learn really well. The power of the label, discrimination. But more accurately, is coming out of the power of the looking glass self. We are who other people think we are. Okay. Any other questions or comments about Cooley? But notice something about Cooley. He's only interested in that set of roles that become part of ourself, the important ones. We're going to need somebody else to help us do more insight into where roles come from at all. Not just the important ones, but any role. And now we make the transition to talking about the guy I said we'd come back to later on, and he's finally back. That is George Herbert Mead. Remember when we were talking about the three modern forms of social theory? I talked about Durkheim as the founder of functionalism, and Weber and Marx as the founder of conflict theory. And I said I needed another name for symbolic interactions, and I said George Herbert Mead. And I said, just as placeholder, we'll come back and talk about it later on. All right, he's back. George Herbert Mead. He, like Cooley was writing in the late 1800s, a long time ago. Mead, late 1800s, early 1900s. Mead, very interested in the development and understanding of roles. More specifically, Mead was interested in how we learn any kind of role, not just the ones that are important to us. His concept of role learning was called taking the role of the other. Taking the role of the other. Here it is. Mead was struck by little kids. What do little kids spend a lot of time doing? Playing. But what kind of play?
Pretend.
Pretend. And what are they pretending? Being other people. Sally. Sally, she's 5 years old. You hear clomp, clomp, clomp in the background. In comes Sally. She's got mommy's high heels on. She's got her purse, her necklace, and lipstick ear to ear.
Hi, Mommy, I'm going to the store.
What is Sally doing? She is playing. She is pretending to be mommy. But for Mead, what she is showing us is something much more important and much more appealing than that cute act of pretending to be mama. She's showing us how we learn roles at all. We pretend to be other people, and we learn the roles by doing that. We take the roles of other people. When you're little kids, I mean, Sally's pretending to be mommy. When my daughter was, about 6 years old, she loved a lot of these Disney cartoons like The Little Mermaid, so she'd go out and play with her friends, and she was Ariel, the mermaid. Well, that was good days. On good days, she was Ariel, the mermaid. On bad days, she was Ursula, the sea witch. When I was a kid, I'd get together with other little boys and we'd play Batman. 5 of us played Batman. We all had our Batman capes. Batman! Batman! Okay, what we're doing? Pretending. But more specifically, we're taking the role of the other. That's how we learn roles. We literally and figuratively put ourselves in other people's shoes. That's what Sally does. She's living in mom's shoes. But we learn other roles by imagining ourselves becoming them. That is something unique to human beings. Yeah?
So basically you can say that Mead is saying that we're all actors in a way?
Exactly. Yeah, we're all actors. That's an important insight. We're going to pursue for the next class or two. Yeah, we're all actors. Look, when you step up to me and we talk about your grades, are you acting? You're acting polite. Sure. Yeah, it's an act. I know it's an act. Would you really like to go stick your grades up here? No, but you're very so concerned about. Yeah, of course. You're playing. But back up a little bit and notice how important this is to being human. This learning of roles like this. This ability to put ourselves in other people's shoes. It's the basis of imagination. Now, on a screen like this, besides a PowerPoint, we'll often watch movies. You know where that is? Go into a darkened theater. There'll be 250 people sitting there in a darkened room in seats kind of like that, all facing a screen like that. And when somebody on that, basically all that screen is kind of a shadow on a wall, right? When that shadow on the wall jumps out with a knife going, ee, ee, ee. What does everybody in that room do? How stupid is that? You're scared, surrounded by 250 people because of a shadow on the wall? Hello? How come? Because in our mind, we're not really sitting in that theater, are we? Where are we? Inside the shadows. We're sucked up. We have this unique ability to not just have empathy, but become other people, put ourselves in their shoes. That's the basis of novels. It's the basis of first-person shooter games. It's the basis of film. Do other animals do this? I mean, if there's a dog fight, 2 dogs, do other dogs come running to watch? Whoa, yeah, dude, give me the butt. I mean, if a dog's chewing a bone, are other dogs going to run gather around? Oh yeah, I could get that. Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, let's be honest about this kind of stuff. What do we like to watch? Other people doing what? Each other. Sex and violence. We like to watch other people do it. We really like to watch very attractive people doing each other. Ooh, I like to watch that. Wait, do dogs do that? Fido is doing Fifi, and all the dogs coming running. Oh yeah, look at that! Whoa, yeah, he's well hung. Yeah, go for it, Fido. Look, for an animal, do it or don't do it, but don't stand around and watch. What's the point of that? But we do. We like to watch. We are all sick. Do it, don't do it, but don't just watch other people do it. But what Mead is telling us is that ability to put ourselves in other people's shoes is how we learn roles. I remember when I was in high school having a teacher who was a weird guy, but I thought it was really cool. He would yell and scream and he would jump around the classroom. I thought, wow, that guy is really cool. I'd like to be like that. Okay, I succeeded too well. But that's how we learn these kinds of roles. You may sit here bored, and what do you imagine yourself doing? Well, you imagine yourself on the team throwing the long Bobby gun. Or, totally tubular dude, I'm down there catching that wave. I make that radical turn. We're constantly putting ourselves in other people's shoes, learning what they're learning. So Mead says this is the basic process where we learn roles, and there are two kinds of roles we take the role of. There are what he calls concrete others, which are specific other people, real or imaginary. And then there are generalized others. A concrete other is some specific other person, the president, or it could be imaginary. Ariel the mermaid, or Batman. Now those are specific people, even though they are imaginary. But at some point, and this could be tie this to Piaget, as we grow a little older and become capable of sort of deductive reasoning, maybe we have a generalized other. You're no longer imagining yourself being the president. You're thinking about yourself being a good American. You're not imagining yourself being the Pope. You're imagining yourself being a good Catholic. That's not a specific person. That is a category. Or a good person in general. That is a generalized other. Two very different kinds of others. A specific other person and a generalized other. When those kids play, usually they start off playing Mommy, Batman, Ariel, whatever it is. But later on, our roles we're taking are these more complicated, more generalized ones. Okay, any questions about this stuff? Yeah, quick time.
Well, in my movie class, we had a term for movie possess, for suspending our disbelief. Couldn't that be technically applied to this, where when you take on the role of something else, you're suspending your own beliefs and trying to take on someone else's and becoming something else?
Yeah, but we're saying that even more basic than the suspension of disbelief is this simple human ability to take the role of somebody else. I mean, really, all this, the age of about 4 or 5 years old, you start getting into this period, this ability to take that kind of role. So it's more of I will now suspend my disbelief, the fact that I am not really this person, and I will now pretend. No. It's a gut level feeling of just imagining yourself in their position. Okay, so that's it for the day. Remember, for those of you who came in late, you will get your midterms back next time. We'll talk a little bit, you will get them back, but you'll get the results back. Speaking of which, if you did not do the midterm, you've got to get it done. You will not pass this class unless you do that midterm. Please talk to me if you have not done the midterm.